Patriots, the battle lines are being drawn. Trump's incoming Border Czar Tom Homan has dropped a bombshell in Chicago that's sending sanctuary city mayors into panic mode. His message? If you impede us, if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien, I will prosecute you. We're not talking about strongly worded letters here. We're talking about mayors in handcuffs. And Brandon Johnson, Chicago's far-left enabler, well, now he's threatening to arrest ICE agents. Yeah. But Homan fired back with a message that should send chills down every sanctuary mayor's spine. Stand aside, because we're coming. And just like these sanctuary cities are feeling the heat from Homan's enforcement plans, Americans everywhere are feeling the squeeze from skyrocketing heating bills. But while sanctuary mayors scramble for cover, you can stay warm without breaking the bank. This incredible portable heater plugs right into your wall outlet and provides instant warmth at a fraction of the cost, perfect for your security post while you're monitoring illegal activity in your neighborhood. Visit staywarmnow.com and get 60% off plus free shipping. Don't let Biden's energy policies freeze you out. Take control of your comfort today. Okay. Now, we'll set the stage with this. Just 3 days ago, Tom Homan makes it clear he will charge mayors with a felony if they try to stop the deportation.
Which, I find
him. So you will not only go after the illegal migrants, you may go after some mayors who aren't helping?
If they step over that line, they can sit back and watch us, which I find incredible. You don't want to take public safety threats out of your community and help us. But there are laws on the books that we will prosecute. It's 18 U.S.C. 111, impeding a federal law enforcement officer is a felony. Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. If you knowingly conceal or harbor an illegal alien from ICE, that is a felony. When I was an agent a long time ago, I've arrested U.S. citizens for harboring an alien in their home or place of employment. If I can do it to a citizen, why can't I do it to a politician who's going to actively get in our way, prevent us from doing our job?
Yeah.
And there are some who are saying this. There was a post of Insurrection Barbie posted on X. She said, Mayor Johnson has said that he is going to block ICE officers. And I said, well, which Mayor Johnson? Well, I'm like, is it Chicago Mayor Johnson or is it the Denver Mayor Johnson? If you remember, the mayor of Denver had this to say.
I would expect other residents. I would certainly protest it, and I would expect other residents would do the same.
Trump's new Border Czar Tom Homan has said that he is willing to arrest leaders like yourself for standing in the way of these policies that they want to enact. Would you be willing to go to jail for these things?
Yeah, I'm not afraid of that. And I'm also not seeking that. I think the goal is we want to be able to negotiate with reasonable people how to solve hard problems. Republican and Democratic presidents in the past have all tried to find solutions to these problems. President Reagan helped people get access to work so they could stay and support themselves. Biden and Harris worked on restricting entry at the border to close down. There are a lot of ways to approach this problem. We don't think it has to come to this. But yeah, I think when you look at, Ralph Carr has always been one of my heroes. He was the governor who in the middle of the internment of Japanese Americans said this was the wrong thing to do. And he stood up. It was unpopular. People were mad at him about it. That was in the middle of wartime. If the president or any of his actors are going to do things that we think are illegal or immoral or un-American, we'll stand up against them. I would certainly.
Well, bring out the Gimp. But the Gimp's sleeping. We'll wake him up. Yeah, that's what that guy reminds me of. Trump Border Czar Tom Homan, just in Chicago recently. We played this the other day, but this is all part of the stage we're setting here.
Says there are no.
He impedes us. If he knowingly harbors and conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him.
Yes. Let's go.
And while Homan says there are no plans for family separation, President Trump's immigration surrogate offered this blunt take.
You can either take the child home with you. He impedes us. If he knowingly harbors and conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him.
Yes. Let's go. 12 hours ago, Ben Owen, Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson, vows to fight illegal aliens deportation. He doesn't know what he's up against. Tom Homan, if you don't want help, stand aside because we are coming. Deportations are going to happen, whether the mayor likes it or not.
Tom Homan put it
about this.
the incoming administration's threat around immigration is dangerous and irresponsible, and this administration is threatening our economy.
Incoming Border Czar Tom Homan putting a priority on national safety. His first order of business is removing more than 1 million convicted criminal migrants in the country, despite orders for deportation.
Chicago, with the crime rate and the shootings at the level they're at, I just can't believe that they want to sit there and call law enforcement officers the bad guy. Why wouldn't he want help in removing public safety threats? But I'm going to do it, and that's what I told him. I said, you don't want to help, fine. I can't believe you don't want to help remove criminals, but guess what? If you don't want to help, just stand aside, because we're coming.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin in a moment on how...
Buckle up, because he is coming for you. Oh, here's that post. Mayor Johnson is threatening to arrest ICE agents if they try to deport immigrants. And let me see if my there it is. Which Mayor Johnson, Chicago or Denver? Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And then we have this. Now, this is back in December 4th. Incoming White House Deputy Chief of Staff lays out the first 100 days. Listen.
You're going to complete. Let me paint a picture for you, Sean, of those first 100 days. Rapid, total, complete deregulation of American energy exploration. You're going to see an American energy boom starting right away. You're going to see all the regulations that are strangling job growth in this country and driving up prices, driving up housing costs, go away. You're going to see the border sealed shut. The criminal aliens are going to be shipped home, and foreign countries around the world are going to accept the gang members and the cartel members that are poisoning our families and murdering American children. You are going to see peace begin to restore to the world as the president works to bring back harmony in the Middle East, harmony in Europe. You're going to see him work with Congress to pass another round of historic tax relief. And you're going to see a government that is accountable to the people again. The swamp will be drained on day one. Incompetent and disloyal people that are hurting this nation are going to be replaced with those who care only for the American people, the American worker, and the American future. That's what's going to happen. It will be a new golden age, Sean.
The new golden age is coming, friends. It is coming. And then, okay, this was just 8 hours ago. Border Czar Tom Homan threatens to arrest and charge Democrats trying to stop Trump deportations.
Am I not wrong that...
A felony we will prosecute.
Rules of this country? Wouldn't that be considered an insurrection?
I don't know, but it's a felony. A felony we will prosecute. And look, there's a lot of hate out there right now. I mean, I got death threats against me and my family, and because I'm going to do the job that Congress has required us to do. They enacted the laws for us to enforce. They budget us to do this job. We're going to do it. But people need to understand, I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be manipulated. I'm not going away. I'm not going to be silenced. We're going to do this job. And again, don't cross the line. I would ask the mayor of Chicago, Governor Pritzker, simply read the statute. Read 18 U.S.C. 111. Read 1324 III. Read them. I mean, I'm not an attorney. But I know how to read. I think they know how to read too. Just read the statute and you decide if you're going to cross that line or instruct anybody else to cross that line, because we're going to get this job done. We're the biggest national security threat this nation's ever had. The southern border with 2.2 million gotaways, but even some of the ones they arrested and released that weren't properly vetted, that came back hot after they released them, that they were on the list, the terrorist watch list. Biggest national security vulnerability in my lifetime. Even the FBI director, who I have zero respect in, even he agrees with me. Biggest national security vulnerability in the history of this nation. More red flags never seen before. And you, as an elected governor, elected mayor, want to stop me from removing public safety threats and national security threats from your communities? It's insulting at every level. Look, the New York City Mayor Eric Adams brought me to the table, and he sees his job as a mayor. Plus, that when I sat down with him, I quickly saw a career cop come out on him, because he's a career cop. He understands public safety threats should not be walking our neighborhoods. So he's stepping up. I'm hoping other mayors and governors step up. Hoping it creates a domino effect that people start reading the statutes, start talking to. Talk to your constituents, for God's sake. The mayor of Chicago should talk to his constituents. He has the lowest rating in the history of any mayor in the history of the United States ever. ever. I think he's got like a 21% approval rating now. So look, read the statute, be advised, we're coming. You're not going to stop us.
We are coming, and you are not going to stop us. Remember when Elon Musk went down to the border?
Obviously, Elon here. I'm at Eagle Pass, just arrived. You know, as an immigrant to the United States, I'm extremely pro-immigrant. And I believe that we need a greatly expanded legal immigration system, and that we should let anyone in the country who is hardworking and honest and will be a contributor to the United States. But then by the same token, we should also not be allowing people in the country if they're breaking the law.
Don't let them in if they're breaking the law. We got morale is up at the Border Patrol. I got some wild footage that just came in from the border. Okay, we got Greg Abbott. Okay, Ben Bergquam, this is what I wanted to show you. Look at this. This is not a line at a new Disney World ride. This is Biden's illegal alien invasion brought to you by the CVP1 app. This is from Tijuana, Mexico, happening right now. He published this 9 hours ago. Look at that. It's like a conveyor belt of illegals. Look at them all. One after another. Just filing in. This is all, this he says, breaking footage, Tijuana, Mexico. The third group of illegals are being brought in by Joe Biden and the Democrats under the CVP1 app. Everyone you see is walking, who is walking up the ramp is part of it. They had a group the same size at 5 a.m., another group the same size at 8 a.m., and it happens every day. This was the 8th stop on their Mexican border tour, and every single CVP1 port is active. Yeah, that's what's happening. It's still happening. Okay, and just a day ago, Greg Abbott said construction on the Texas border wall, continues in Maverick County. Texas is building a wall at the border to protect our nation from the dangers created by the Biden-Harris administration's open border policies. Here is President Trump talking about, Biden selling off the wall, and he had this to say.
An act administration is trying to sell it for 5 cents on the dollar, knowing that we're getting ready to put it up. And what they're doing is really an act. It's almost a criminal act. They know we're going to use it, and if we don't have it, we're going to have to rebuild it, and it'll cost double what it cost years ago, and that's hundreds of millions of dollars because you're talking about a lot of wall. I built much more than I said I was going to build, but then after it was built, I said, we can do some more because it's sort of like water, people flow through. And that will pretty much really take care of it. And what happened is they just, as you see, they're trying to sell it for 5 cents on the dollar. And that's really, that has nothing to do with a smooth transition. That has to do with people really trying to stop our nation. And all it means really is that we're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars more, not even talking about the time. Time would be pretty long. But we'll spend hundreds of millions of dollars more on building the same wall that we already have. And people have already come back to us that have deals at 5 cents and 4 cents and one guy at 3 cents on the dollar. And they offered to sell it back to us at more money than it cost us to build substantially. Can you believe it? So they make a deal with the United States to buy it for pennies. And then they call us and they say, do you want to buy it back? We'll sell it back to you for hundreds of dollars a foot. Hundreds of dollars, from pennies to hundreds of dollars a foot. And we can't let this take place. Now, we're going to go. I spoke with the Attorney General of Texas. I spoke to the senators of Texas. I spoke to a lot of people. And hopefully they'll be able to stop. We're going to be, having a restraining order. But just think about how ridiculous it is. And this is just people that don't want this country to succeed. And this has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. This has to do with common sense. We won on common sense, and this is maybe one of the most egregious examples I've seen. So the people that are buying it or trying to buy it are trying to make a deal with us to sell it back at hundreds of times more than we paid. And this is all because the Democrats. So I'm asking today Joe Biden to please stop selling the wall. We're going to use that to create a strong barrier, and it worked. That's why our numbers were so good. It really worked, and it worked well, and it's very expensive to do. And I'm asking Joe Biden to stop his people from giving it away. It's something that people can't even believe is happening. So hopefully Joe will be able to stop it.
Yeah, I don't think Joe is going to stop it, though, because he wants scenes like this at the border, the conveyor belt of illegals. And speaking of New York, you know, Mayor Eric Adams, he is under siege because he dared to go against the narrative. And Trump was asked about if he should pardon Eric Adams.
In an airplane.
Would you consider pardoning Eric Adams?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems, you know, like being upgraded in an airplane many years ago. I know probably everybody here has been upgraded. They see you're all stars, and they say, I want to upgrade that person from NBC. I'm going to upgrade him. And that would mean you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. I don't know. Somehow, I hope not. I mean, I'd have to see it because I don't know the facts. I think he was treated. You know, it's very interesting when he essentially went against what was happening with the migrants coming in. And, you know, he made some pretty strong statements like, this is not sustainable. I said, you know what? He'll be indicted soon. And I said it not as a prediction, a little bit lightheartedly, but I said it. I said, he's going to be indicted. And a few months later, he got indicted. So, yeah, I would certainly look at it.
He would certainly look at pardoning Eric Adams. I mean, he's not even in office yet, and he's already being asked about pardons. As you know, Joe Biden is he's pardoning everybody. The most pardons of any president in recent history. Oscar El Blue, CPB-1, is flying migrants all the way to the Mexican port of entry, and he published this 5 days ago. Let's take a sneak peek at
right here. Oscar Blue for Real America's Voices. Behind me, you can see a massive group of people arriving for the CBP-1 app to enter the United States of America. The strategy has changed from the government of Mexico. They moved them from the other pedestrian port of entry, and they moved them to this one. There's two pedestrian port of entry. So what they do is these people have just arrived on a plane. They put them through their private intake, and they move them to this particular lane. Well, you see, you know, some of them are still waiting right here. Then the Institute of National Immigration of Mexico comes and picks them up and takes them all the way into the intake, the other intake, for them to enter the United States of America. So the CBP-1 continues massively still to enter the United States before Donald Trump enters to take power on January 20th.
Yeah. And but the good news is, you know, despite all of this, the morale is up.
There's a lot of violence through the roof. We received hundreds of calls, texts, emails, just saying how happy the agents are. There's a lot of agents that had originally said that they would retire if President Trump did not win. They know this one's going to be even better.
Lieutenant, some people who resigned or retired from Border Patrol, we hear that they're coming back. They want to come back. That accurate?
You know, Stuart, I mean, the Border Patrol right now, I mean, their morale is higher than it's ever been. Now they have actually something to look forward to, actually have some type of fulfillment in what they do every single day. I'm actually out here this morning working with Border Patrol, and I'm talking to some of the agents, and they're just excited to see what's going to come the next year.
Violence through the roof.
We are all excited to see what happens. But those sanctuary cities, man, they are on notice. The gig is up, and the showdown is just beginning. With mayors openly defying federal law and Homan promising prosecutions, we're heading towards a constitutional crisis. But here is the real question, keeping the deep state up at night. What happens when Trump's border czar starts connecting the dots between sanctuary city policies and even potential dirty bomb smuggling routes? Don't miss our MAG Avengers collection at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Yes, this is like the unofficial uniform of patriots who understand that national security starts at home. Yes, make sure you get it, because they're not just clothes, they're a statement that you stand with law enforcement against the sanctuary madness.